Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Uchi, and as promised and as expected, I'm sure a lot of you guys were anticipating this full-length spoiler room brawl, whatever you want to call it, a whole full-out review, raw review of what we thought about the entire Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. Now, of course, I'm not doing this by myself. Naturally, I'm going to be reviewing this, John, with the man that I went to see this at in theaters in New York City, the premiere that, Funimation had to give the young bull an invite, all right? They were like, we believe in the Uchi game. So I am with none other than Brother Uch. And we are here, of course, again, as a quick reminder, that we're going to go over this movie from start to finish. So the way I wanted to structure this is pretty much kind of similar to how I do the podcast. Just talk about everything that we remember seeing from beginning to end, and we can dabble a little bit at what we thought what was going on during certain parts, because there's a lot that happened in this movie. And at the time of this recording, just to let you guys in on this recording took place legitimately the day after we saw it. Okay, and as you are hearing this, maybe for a lot of you are coming to hear this, the day of the premiere, maybe the day after. Obviously, we wanted to release this as soon as possible, but of course we didn't want to again spoil everyone else that obviously had to wait a whole nother week or whatever to see the movie. So we're here now. We're going to talk about this in full. So first things first, the movie opens up. They're starting us off with the backstory. The planet Vegeta. We're seeing King Cold comes through. And what does he do? He goes, as of today, effective immediately, I am no longer the king. I'm retiring. And that's where we see Frieza step in. And then he goes, but you know what? But Frieza's not as forgiving as I am. So, what's funny? I think King Cold is a pretty chill dude, if I guess the pun works there. But this part was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty nice to see the Ginyu Force. They make a little cameo appearance. Saw Zarbon. Saw a bunch of they formerly known as the Cold Force. Then see, not a lot of people realize that, but then of course they changed the name to Frieza Force. So I thought that was pretty cool. Just to see them all on the screen was pretty dope at the same time. And then of course we see the scene where Vegeta's in his
young form
in the baby form, what is it, the I don't want to call it the rejuvenation capsule, but it was like one of those like baby pods, or where the infants, I guess they keep them there
till they grow.
Yeah, till they grow up a little bit. So I thought that was pretty nice. But at the same time, where we see the scene where King Vegeta, he looks over and he notices that Broly is in the same room as Vegeta, and he's like, he's all mad. He's like, oh, like who is this rat, this filth, this garbage child in the same room as my son? And the reason why he was in there was because the low class warrior, calling him all that stuff. And what did he say? And no, what did they say to him?
What Broly was stronger than Vegeta?
Broly was
on par or beyond Vegeta's
Broly, yes, that Broly's combat power could obviously surpass Vegeta's, the latent power.
Yeah, the latent power.
And dude, I thought that they were basically low key like totally trashing on Vegeta as a kid. They were like, man, your baby ain't nothing compared to Broly, man. The only reason why Vegeta's up on the pedestal pod is because he's your son. And of course, it's funny because we learned a lot about King Vegeta's character, because we never really see too much King Vegeta, but um, a lot of things were, even though this is a new story, a new Broly, the whole situation, it still felt like they still utilized some elements from the original, like with certain characteristics. And King Vegeta seems to be way too prideful for his own good,
Right.
and like obviously we see where Vegeta gets it from. And this man is hardcore, stubborn to the bone, and he don't take no for an answer, and he's just like, nope, I don't like your son. He's too, he don't even want to admit it. You know,
Yo, I kind of wonder, like, if whatchamacallit,
put the mic up closer.
I kind of wonder
There you go.
if whatchamacallit, what King King Vegeta?
Yeah,
Yeah, King Vegeta and Bardock had any like
interactions.
rivalries or anything like that, or if they were just a part of the Saiyan race or whatever.
Yeah, they were just. I feel like they were just a part of the same race. They didn't do nothing fancy. They didn't do nothing special, to be honest. I mean, who knows? That kind of stuff we'll never know, because then that would mean that we would have to see a series specifically for like before the destruction of the Saiyans, which I would not mind at all. I would love to see some backstory episodes eventually in Dragon Ball Super of that, because hey, then we get to see more. We get to see more Gine. We get to see more Bardock. But good transition, because like I feel like right after this we saw a scene with Bardock and
Yeah, him coming back.
yeah, him coming back, and actually, matter of fact, that scene, it was like 5 years after the time that they had started us in the movie. So it seemed like Broly and Vegeta were around the same age.
Yeah.
And then
Goku's,
yeah, and then 5 years after that, that's when they first show Goku in his little pod in the Bardock residence. And of course, but this is 5 years after. So prior to that, that's when King Vegeta exiles Paragus. Well, no, he didn't exile him. He exiles Broly, because his original intention was that he was going to just send off Broly to a distant planet that was far off, and if he's so strong that he should be able to just fend for himself. But honestly, King Vegeta probably didn't intend that at all. He just wanted to get rid of him, so that way, he wouldn't have to ever worry about someone overcoming his own son and this and that and getting embarrassed. And because let me tell you something, if he was alive today and saw what the beating his son got, he would have been like, "You're not my son." He would have been like disowning the crap out of Vegeta. But
King Vegeta's kind of a bitch though.
I know.
Not gonna lie, no, cause like every time Frieza showed up, that nigga cried.
I
And,
know.
and like Vegeta like actually owns up to it sometimes, or
Yeah.
he's learned to, cause like I don't know, like cause during the Cell Saga, for example, like Vegeta was a bitch towards Cell
Yes.
when Cell reached like perfect form and he couldn't do shit, and then so I don't know, like he kind of gets it from King Vegeta obviously, but I think he's better than that now, to where he just keeps fighting. Or
You talking about
whatever.
Vegeta?
Yeah, Vegeta.
Yeah. No, obviously.
Because King Vegeta never like stood up to him.
Well, yeah, Vegeta's taken a lot of character development, and his whole entire character has changed, and his surrounding has changed, and that's because he ain't on planet Vegeta no more. It's not the Saiyans, it's humans, it's Earthlings, and he married an Earthling. He got with his Bulma. And apparently he really, really loves her, because you talk any smack about Bulma, that wakes my man Vegeta up.
Yeah.
If we ever want to see Vegeta go Super Saiyan 6, just hurt Bulma, and this man will go nuts.
And
He'll
Trunks.
he'll lose it, son. He'll straight lose it. Like, my Bulma. Like, nah. All right, but back on topic though. So we see so he sends off Broly. And he sends Broly off into his own little capsule, and then Paragus literally chases after him. And this is where, we set up the storyline. Paragus wants to take vengeance on King Vegeta because
of what he did.
because of what,
sending him away.
sending his son away, because he was jealous, because he was envious, because he didn't want to accept that, his son Broly was strong. That was stronger than Vegeta. So I mean, it is what it is. And what's wonderful is that the only kind of crying we saw from Broly was the simple fact that they kept knocking on the poor kid's little jar, reading his power. And I will also mention his power is so strong that they kept breaking the readers.
Yeah, they kept breaking the radars.
Like dude, it was so cool to see that. I was like, bro, like he's busting up the freaking radars, the power readers, the scales. Like his power was immeasurable. Simple as that. Just thought that was dope. And then so fast forward a little bit. Paragus, of course, and one day I will, blah, 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 that line that we hear in the trailer a million times. And he chases after him, and he takes one of the standby Saiyans or whatever, who's not he's not a dude he's not a fighter. His name was Beat. He was pretty beat.
He got beat the fuck.
Yeah, no, he really did because he didn't last too long, did he? As soon as they were on the planet,
and they wanted more, and they needed more food. That means they ate that man.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
That's a far stretch to
Because
assume.
he killed them because they were talking about food supply, and then they were like,
Yeah, they talk about food. They were talking about food supply, but the one thing that I'm sure they did not eat.
Well, if they didn't
beets.
if they didn't eat, well, maybe he killed them so they didn't have to worry about another body.
That's exactly why he did it. He said, "Oh, well, one less mouth to feed." Bam, killed him.
Maybe that's.
And it was crazy when they found Broly. Broly was like trying to like defend himself against his dad. It was kind of cool to see. Now the one other thing that they brought upon us, that one of the big questions I don't even think a lot of people were asking was, did Broly have a tail? Of course he had a tail. He had a tail, and
Paragus cut that shit off.
And yes, Paragus cut it. Why? Because Broly and Ozaru. Now think about this. Everyone that's listening, could you even imagine? Did you even ever process the thought of Broly ever going Ozaru?
No.
And why is that? Because he's already raw strength, raw power as it is. Why would you do that?
They actually showed like
a little glimpse. Yeah, they teased that, John. Oh my God. When I saw that, I was like,
they said he's out of control though, obviously.
yeah, and that's exactly why Paragus removed his tail, because he figured,
if he did that, then he would lose those.
Yeah,
But
nah, son,
that
like.
thing is probably still within him.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah,
We'll get to that because that actually plays an important part, which we didn't realize. I didn't think that they were going to use that as something, as substance to explain this dude's power, and actually to explain the Saiyan's power, I guess at this point. So they go on and obviously like. So then after this, they go into the present time. They have like a little scene where it's like they show, they show like what's going on like on Earth. Like they show like the quick little glimpse of like all the events that happen in Dragon Ball Z. But really quick before that, that's where the Bardock scene comes in. That's where he's like, I don't trust Frieza.
Yeah, and he saves Goku.
He goes see Gine. Gine has a few lines. It's a shame, man, because I really wanted. I don't know. Like they never really went into it, but. Do we assume that Gine was a fighter too, or was she just a housewife?
I don't know.
It's hard to tell, but Bardock he had a thought. He was like, you know what? I don't trust this dude. We're gonna send off Kakarot, and if we're wrong, we'll go save him. Boy, was he right, and they got wiped. But what I do want to also mention before we move on to the nitty gritty, the meat of this whole discussion here is review, I should say, is they paid a lot of homages in this movie, and this one I didn't expect to see. They still included, even though it wasn't the original story of Bardock or history of Bardock that we've known for many years, where Bardock has all the Saiyans revolt against Frieza, and he's like, we're not, blah, 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 and then that's when Frieza destroys them, right? This time around, Frieza literally told all the Saiyans to just report back to base, aka back to the planet, for whatever an important meeting. And then once they were all there, he was then gonna hit the final death blow and just wipe them all clean, right? But when he did that, it was, of course, after when Goku was already sent off,
Yeah.
and and then we see
the power level of the planet. Dropped to zero.
that was actually kind of sad. It was crazy to see, because it was like, like millions of people or whatever.
'Cause, like, if that shit like hit a number, I was like, Bardock. I would have.
Oh, if it landed on one.
There's some bullshit.
Yeah, nah, that John went straight to zero.
Yeah, I was like, there's no hope. Nah.
No hope.
No Bardock.
Straight to zero because Brother Uchi and I were theorizing outside this podcast like weeks and weeks and months ago, like when we were just thinking about all these different situations and scenarios that could happen in this movie. Like if Bardock could, if he actually escaped it,
I wish
and came back.
I wish he just left.
Well, they explained that too. And because they are,
they would have been tracked.
They would have They would have been tracked down. They would have been able to been sensed. Sending a baby away is a lot easier to get away with than sending yourself away. Obviously, so the rest is obviously history. But what I wanted to finish this off with, the homage that they paid off to was so when Frieza does the blow, we actually see Bardock trying to fend it off.
Yeah.
And I thought that part was dope because it was almost like, but it was, in a way, I feel like it was a little bit better than the original scene. Because all he does is he sends out a riot javelin and it gets disintegrated in 2 seconds.
He actually tried. Like,
and he stands there, right?
It was like his best blast.
Yeah, but in this version, he's like, it's a whole beam, and it's one hand.
It's in the game, fighter.
Yeah, it's in the game, right. But in the game, he's Super Saiyan. Come on.
Yeah.
But so he's trying and he's fighting it off, and then nope, he did not last. But the thing I also noticed was that it was only him trying to fight it off.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It was probably because he was the only one that had that deduction. Like he was the only one that suspected Frieza of,
King Vegeta wasn't even there. That kind of is bullshit. Because King Vegeta was just taking that shit. He didn't even fend it off like Bardock.
Well, no, because I'm sure Vegeta didn't see. Because that's the thing. The only person that they visibly showed us was Bardock having that sense of I don't trust this dude.
Yeah.
And originally the way it was written was Bardock foresaw it happening. In this new Bardock, in the Dragon Ball Minus, if you want to call it the Dragon Ball Minus, or Akira Toriyama Bardock, he did not foresee it. He had an instinct, he had an instinctual feeling in his gut that Frieza was about to do some dirty stuff, and he was right. He was spot on. So it was a very sad scene, kind of a little sad way to open up the movie. But that was like a third of the movie right there. They had a bunch of scenes straight from the history. It was all like history of Saiyans almost. And I almost wonder how much stuff did they actually cut out? Because remember, Akira Toriyama gave them a 3-hour script, my dudes. 3-hour script. Movie is an hour and 40 minutes long. That's at least half of stuff that we will maybe never see. I'm hoping we do in Dragon Ball Super. But that's for another discussion.
Oh, man.
Right? So fast forward, now we're in the present time. We're in a scene where Goku and Vegeta are training at in some remote island in the south area that's far away from so they don't gotta worry about destroying nothing. Beerus and Whis are there. They're having some nice little delicacies. They're chilling with Bulma on the side. There's Bola, cute little Bola baby over here, and then they're talking. And then Whis asked the question so Goku why are you trying to what kind of strength are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to become a god of destruction? But the thing, this is the why I want to tune into the dubs, because I don't know if they've always been calling them this, but they call them a destruction god.
Yeah, destruction, whatever.
Yeah, no, they call him a god destroyer. It's like, are you trying to become a god destroyer? That's what he said. And I was like, God destroyer. I'm so used to hearing God something. You know, like God of Destruction. That's what we're so used to reading in the subtitles. So when they said God Destroyer, I was like, okay, that's different. I mean, I could be wrong. That's something that they could be saying in the dub as we know it right now. But we don't watch the dub, so I gotta start tuning into Toonami for that, John. But he asked him the question, and Beerus is like, "You think I'm gonna sit down for something like that?" And Goku's like, "Why would I want to sit around all day?" I thought that was funny. This movie had a really good overall balance between comedy, like emotional, like sad moments, and action, and a bunch of character development. Because let me tell you this, guys, if you're a Broly hater and if you're listening to this right now, I can tell you right now, all the reasons that you might have hated Broly for have been completely wiped away. They completely wrote this dude a very, very nice story that had a beginning, middle, end, and thankfully his end is not how a lot of us thought it was going to be. Thank God. So that's a little hint at what's to come at the end of this, right? So they have their little talk, and then they eventually transition into talking about the Dragon Balls, and that the 6 Dragon Balls that were in Bulma's office, I guess, were stolen. And they were stolen from these low-class warriors from the Frieza army, or the Frieza Force, whatever you want to call it. And Trunks and Goten, the one that deliver it, they give a quick Skype call to Bulma on the Apple Watch, or the Capsule Corp watch, right? And they talk about it, and they update her on that. So then here is what sets the movie's plot right here. The overall, because right now, beforehand, it was all just like a backdrop story to kind of get us ready for what's happening right here. So right now, realistically, the whole point behind this film was actually to just to get the Dragon Balls back, to find the 7th one, so that way Bulma could de-age herself by 5 years. And apparently, that's what she's been doing for however long. And it kind of makes sense, because if you have ever looked at Bulma and look at Chi-Chi been aging. Bulma has not. You look at her, you're like, damn, like Bulma got some good genes. Nope. Her ass been calling us Shenron every time and asking for 5 years of youth back. And she says, "Oh, if I'm not, she's not doing like a ridiculous amount, because then it would be too obvious." Which added to the humor, added to the comedy. I thought that was very like uplifting and something I wasn't expecting. It was really cool. At the same time, we see Frieza's end. And Frieza talks about what he wants to wish.
5 centimeters.
And and it's funny, they used the number 5 a lot. I thought that was kind of cool. That he wanted to only use the Dragon Balls to wish himself not for unlimited life, not for an immortal body, not to never take battle damage. No. He wanted to wish for 5 centimeters of height on his frame. and it's similar to Bulma. It was a number that would be barely noticeable, but somewhat of a difference. And again, the theater thought it was funny. Everyone was laughing. It was very unexpected, and I feel like because of this, we got a lot of Akira Toriyama influenced humor in this movie. It felt very Akira Toriyama, because for those that don't know, this man loves making jokes. He comes from creating manga that's all about humor and comedy. It's not necessarily all about the action. Obviously, Dragon Ball Z has totally changed that, and everyone just wants a fisticuffs kind of show. But the fact that he dropped a bunch of, humor in this movie was really appreciated, and I loved it a lot. I was actually, enjoying all of the jokes that they were dropping, right? So they're going, and their mission is they got to go track down the balls. They got to go to the Arctic, and that's why, they get the jackets and blah, blah, blah. But see, here's the thing that I noticed, and I was expecting to get some kind of answer. They never answered what SAB stood for officially. People can speculate saying Arctic Brigade, or, saying Arctic, like, battle or something. I don't know. Like we don't know. And I thought that they were going to answer that question, and they didn't. So that's the one thing. That was the one letdown I had, I guess, of the whole entire film. But honestly, that wasn't even a big deal. Um, I feel so at this part where is this the part where they also had like a oh yeah because at the same time while this was going on, Chilai and Lemo were hired to go and I guess retrieve some. They had to go to Vampa for something,
Yeah,
and they ended up finding
and
Broly.
they saved Broly and Paragus.
Yup, and they saved Broly and Paragus.
And then they brought him onto the ship
Yeah.
to freeze his
Oh yeah,
ship.
yeah, yeah. Because okay, so I don't know if they. Okay, so this is the part that I'm kind of my memory's a little fuzzy here because I don't necessarily remember if they were sent. Well, they were sent on some kind of mission, but they received a distress signal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
On the planet
Yeah,
Valpo.
yeah. They received a distress signal that was like an old
'Cause-
Saiyan
Yeah,
type
because
of.
they were looking for like more powerful what for Frieza's army. For more
Right,
powerful
right. They're
people.
trying to they're trying to build
And
up the Frieza force.
and then
Right.
and then they sensed Broly or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So they got the distress signal. They went down there. They saved Paragus. They saved Broly. And then they got to they got to know Broly a little bit more. And it's so crazy because the relationship that Paragus and Broly have is simply that it's almost like he has raised a jungle kid. Like Broly is Tarzan. Straight up. He looked like a more jacked up, taller Tarzan. Stronger too. Right? And I thought that was awesome. I was like, wow, because we heard this man speak
Yeah, man.
so many times. And he's like, Broly, don't forget your manners. He's like, thank you. Like I thought it was dope.
He was
I thought all the interactions were awesome. I really did. I enjoyed all of them.
He actually has a voice.
Yes, yeah, and it's still reprised by Vic Mignogna, or Mignogna. That's how you pronounce it, Mignogna. All right, and so then there's a scene on the ship where there's some drunk dude that's trying to get with Chilai, and
Broly don't fuck with me.
and Broly did not. He was like he was trying to protect. And now here's the thing: I knew as soon as Chilai saw Broly, and the way she looked at him, and the way she was catching on to how his relationship with Paragus was, I was like, oh, he's gonna end up with Chilai. That kind of, and it makes me upset low key because, well, maybe not, because who knows if they ever do have that fated meetup between Broly and KO. Like everyone's been shipping it. Everyone's been like, there's a bunch of fan art out there like, oh, Broly KO, new Broly KO, like, because of course they both have like a raw like latent their power is slept on. It's very dormant. It's a dormant power, and then when it comes out, they can't control it. But funny enough, if we reference Kale really quick, she can now.
Control it.
So now the thing. Oh man, we got to get to that part. We got to get to the end of this whole thing. What I want to talk about that, as far as like Broly's power and stuff like that. So yeah, after this, so there's a really cool scene that I like that happens after that whole bar scene. It's not really a bar scene. It was like a lunch room, cafeteria scene, where Broly like the dude tried to come at Broly. All he got to do was punch him a couple times on the chest. Broly didn't nudge, and then he like held him up.
He choked.
And Paragus was like, Broly, like he was like trying to stop him, and then he had to whip out the electrocution button. So similarly to the original Broly, they had Broly that silver necklace that he wore was actually an electric shocker device. Yeah. And they kept it as simple as that. There was no like mind control type stuff. There was no like scientific extraness involved. He didn't have the bracelets. He didn't have the shin guards or anything like that. He didn't have the head brace. No, he literally all it was a nice simple silver necklace, and that's it. And I thought that was fine. I thought that was a really good revision. It actually blended in with his suit a lot better. And the electric shock seemed to actually be very effective because Paragus survived all these years after, raising him and just trying to survive, Broly's outrages and stuff like that. And not to mention, they confirmed it. Broly has gone Ozaru, and that's the reason why Broly's tail got cut in the first place. Because, dude, imagine a wild Broly Ozaru just out and about. He'd probably destroy a planet by accident. So
crazy.
Yeah, so the cool scene that I'm trying to get to right here is that after that whole cafeteria scene, they're talking, like Limo and Chilai are talking to Broly, like trying to get to know him a little bit more, because at first, I remember beforehand they were trying to get Broly to take off his like waist John that looked like like a jacket, right?
And Broly freaked out.
And Broly freaked out, and he's like, "It stays," right? And I was like, "Whoa." There's got to be a backstory behind it, and there was. And again, adding more layers to this character. You can't hate this. You can't hate this Broly. You cannot. You can hate the old one, fine.
He got feelings.
He got feelings. He got connections, emotional ties. And the story was actually really innocent. He told the story of how he used to train against a beast. All right, straight up. Like, he used to train against this monster that inhabited the planet Vampa, and it's these creatures that like live within the ground, and it's like really weird because like it looks like you're laying in grass, right? But realistically, they can come up, and it's like it looks like a huge earth worm mixed with a bear kind of thing. Yeah. Like, imagine a worm, and then the worm's head is like a grizzly bear or something like that.
That nigga from freaking Mario Kart, but with fur.
Okay, so Chomp Chomp?
Yeah,
sure.
Chomp.
All right, sure. All right. If that's what you want to say, I guess we'll go with that. So he said that he, after training with, and he calls it Ba, and he named it Ba because that was the sound it would always make, right? Yeah. He said that he started to become, he started to befriend it, and I guess Ba, I guess it befriended him back, and then one day Paragus decided that that he was no good and that he needed to, do whatever he was told, and Paragus, of course, shot Ba, and Ba's ear came off, and it's actually Ba's ear that he kept wrapped around him, so that way he always has a piece of Ba wherever he goes. I thought that was so sick. That was so cool, and it doesn't even look like an ear.
Yeah, it looks like a freaking sweater.
I mean, it looks like a fur from some animal,
yeah,
but like, the way it's tied up and stuff like that. But I mean, you got to figure, like, yeah, it's an ear. Of course, like when it's attached to a body, like that's why it's like, perked up, but it's not. So it's a lot more loose. Whatever, But again, I thought it was really cool that there was even a backstory for why he kept the fur, son, or the ear, I guess technically. It looked like fur. And this is where, Chilai and Lemo really feel for Broly. They feel bad for Broly. And that's when she decided that she was gonna just take away the electric shock device and break it because she wanted to free Broly because she realized.
She took it away before that.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
She took it away and then she broke it because, she felt like Paragus should not be treating Broly like that because Broly's a human being, or saying, I guess, but that he shouldn't treat his son like that. So she took it upon herself to play Dr. Phil, and she was like, "Nope, that's not how you're gonna raise your son. It's not gonna happen." And that's when she kind of really started to show her care for Broly. And not even in a romantic way. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, there was no cheeks clapping. There was none of that, okay? Even though there was a few scenes where they kept showing Chilai, like, bent over, like hella fan servicey, low-key. I was like, damn, like, why is Chilai got a fatty? Like, it was weird, right? Something we weren't expecting, but they definitely made it like, okay, after the first time, it was like, okay, like, that's fine, whatever. Then it happened like 2 more times. I was like, all right, these angles are definitely on purpose, for sure. All right, they're trying to make us look. But, fast forward past that, right? And now we're finally at the scene where we're all been waiting for. Frieza shows up with Broly and Paragus to meet with Vegeta and Goku, because
And
ultimately that's what
And
happened.
they sent them instantly.
They sense them instantly, right? And you know, they come out of they come out of the ship, and then what's it called? Then Frieza updates Paragus about like King Vegeta, and they go, oh look, that's King Vegeta's son. King Vegeta no longer lives, and then of course Paragus felt like, oh, like now like you have to repent for your father's sins and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, that's where we see Broly get freaking
He
like
started getting angry.
unleashed. He let him out like a wild dog in a cage, son. And that's when the fighting started. So the first fight that we see here is
Vegeta and Broly.
Vegeta versus Broly. Vegeta actually handled him really well.
He was giving him the hands.
Yeah, Vegeta handled him really well. The fighting was pretty like it was
But
for the most
in
part.
the trailer, we thought they were getting bodied from the start.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But they were keeping.
and
up.
guys, this is why, you know, they did reveal a lot of stuff from the trailers, but at the same time, there was also a lot of stuff that they didn't show in the trailers, which was really cool. Like, they didn't show every single little action sequence and stuff like that, which is nice because it's like, you know, you don't want to see everything before you go see the movie, you know? But sometimes it feels like that. But Vegeta, man, he was holding his own. Like, he was actually giving him the work, just like you said. And then, like, it got to a point where it's just like, okay, like, damn, like Broly's not like Paragus even gave up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Vegeta went Super Saiyan, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Oh yeah. Yo, that's another thing.
The transformations were fucking.
Oh my
crazy.
god, we'll talk about that in a second. But Paragus literally was like,
What
"What's
is
that?"
And then Frieza said, "That's a Super Saiyan."
He's like, "Please tell me your son can do that too." Like it's like nowadays it's expected. If you're a Saiyan. If you got Saiyan descent, Saiyan blood in you, you're expected to at least be able to go Super Saiyan. And it's so funny, like this is not even the first time that we've seen this. Like remember back when the Universe 6 tournament, when Vegeta fought Kowbe,
Yeah.
and Kowbe did not know what a Super Saiyan form was, and Vegeta taught him how to do it.
Yep.
You know, like and at this point, like let's just take a second to think about this. Broly was fighting Vegeta in his base form, and even Goku was like, "Wow, he's fighting Vegeta in his base form. All right, go."
Yeah.
You know, like he didn't, dude. And as the fight continued, the fight escalated. Broly kept adapting, and he was learning as he was fighting, and it was
then
so
Vegeta had to
cool.
pump it up
He
to Super
pumped it up.
Saiyan God,
Now
baby.
I'm gonna mention this before we talk about Super Saiyan God. That form that was fire. By the way, the flames came out of nowhere and it was vroom. It was sick, right? And it was magnificent. It was beautiful. It was everything that you would wish on, right? But look, the one thing I do want to point out, not talk about it in depth because that's literally we could talk about what I'm about to say in its own video. Okay, however. We saw a little tease, a little hint.
Yes.
When he powered into Super Saiyan, his hair was green first. That John was green.
I was like, yeah, we were like, what the?
We were like, okay. At this part, there was a bunch of times when Brother Uchi and I was just holding each other, like we were just like, did you see that? Yo, it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. Okay. So he goes Super Saiyan God now.
Yeah.
And now he's really messing up Broly.
Yeah, he was giving him the work.
At this point, Paragus was like, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
Like, and then Frieza was like, I guess we'll have to go now. And then that's when Broly was just like starting to like wake up and get more angry and more angry.
Yeah, and power up.
Yeah, and he kept powering up, and like. And Paragus was like, "It's over, Broly. Like, stop it now." And he was about to go for his electric jump, but it wasn't there because Shalai freaking killed it off. So, you know, he was like, "Oh no!" Like that's when Paragus got scared because he was like, "Oh no! Like this is bad." Right? Broly started adapting more, and then he started giving Vegeta the hands. Then it wasn't so much back and forth no more. But see, that's the thing. Like Paragus could only train him so much.
Yeah.
Right? And even Frieza made this joke. He was like, So when you raised him, like, were you like his only like sparring partner or whatever? And then Paragus was like, yo, yeah, outside of like the beasts on planet Vampa, yes, I was, Broly's sparring partner, his training partner. He's like, well, to be honest, that probably does it. It's probably pretty meaningless with your power level. Like, totally just crapping on Paragus altogether, which I thought was freaking hilarious. And everyone in the theater was like, damn. Like, literally, like, yeah. So they're fighting, and then at some point, like, Vegeta's like getting to work. And I don't remember.
I don't think he went Super Saiyan Blue at that point because Goku stepped in.
Yes, that's when
he was like, I think it's my turn to fight.
Yeah, he's like, it's my turn, right? And then he takes off the jacket, and that's literally, it's like the scene out of the teaser.
Yeah.
Right? So we go all the way back to the first teaser that we got like last year, pretty much like a whole year ago. Yeah, doing a little
warming up.
Yeah, warming up, loosening the limbs, all that kind of stuff. It was hype. It was kind of cool, and it was kind of funny to see that. And then he starts taking it to Broly, and they're fighting, and then we see Goku go Super Saiyan, and then he's fighting, and then we see him go Super Saiyan God.
And he was giving him work.
It
seems like Goku Super Saiyan God is better than Vegeta's because he handles it way more.
Well, yeah. So I mean, okay. So it's probably because we've seen Goku used it a lot more than Vegeta has. But again, you can't forget, he has done in the manga.
Yeah.
So just because it hasn't happened in the anime does not mean that it hasn't happened at all. Like, if you were to like overlap the two to kind of like, mesh them together.
Saying that, well, Goku then is stronger than Vegeta. I guess is that right? Because I mean, just the way he was handling Broly, he was doing it better than Vegeta was.
I mean, then
like once he went Super Saiyan Blue, like.
Yeah, but he had time to watch, so that way he could make the proper adjustments. Be like, okay, well, Vegeta's doing all this, so I'll probably do all this.
But the good part, well, one of the parts was when he was in Super Saiyan God, like Goku. He pulled out a new move. He was like, he controlled.
So that move, I think that's Hit's move.
It might be. Because Hit stops people.
Yeah, like I could have sworn. I was like, yo, we've seen this before.
He must have picked it up.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. That is, okay. And
he must have picked it up with like Beerus and Whis maybe.
Who knows? But the point that I want to make now is that Saiyans are very adaptive. Yep. They get stronger with every fight as they fight, it seems. And look at Goku. Look at his timeline. He didn't always know Solar Flare. He just picked that John up out of nowhere. He didn't always know Destructo Disc. He took that from Krillin. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can see something and then just do it, right? So he had Broly in this new move, right? New, apparently, quote unquote. And that was where he took the time to talk to him, and that's where we hear him. Yep. He's like, but I don't think you're a bad guy. Like, and Broly was just trying to break free. But
he actually was like, he was kind of surprised that Goku was trying to talk to him.
Yes.
But then he just broke out of it.
And see
then he countered it. He countered Goku's own move on him.
Yeah.
And Goku was frozen.
So Broly was surprised. But the thing about Broly was that he was surprised, but at the same time, he just couldn't control himself. So obviously, all he knew what to do was to rage and to keep fighting, because that's what he was raised to do, right? He was raised to become a bloodlusty, well, not really bloodlusty, but just like a warrior on command, I guess, kind of thing. And yes, he not only did he just break out of Goku's move. Like I said, Saiyans adapting on the fly. Broly legitimately turned the tables and used the exact same move. Did the theater not pop?
The theater popped.
I heard yipes in the back, bro. He's like, "Oh, yo!" I heard everybody, cause no one was expecting that. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, "Yo!"
And Goku didn't even expect that,
bro. Exactly. He forgot he was fighting a Saiyan. Had to. He forgot he was fighting a Saiyan, bro. It had to have been that. I'm telling you, dude. It was so cool to see. It was so cool because see, this is the thing. You have to realize this is the first time Broly had real opponents ever before. His own kind, nonetheless. And as the fight was going on, he was learning and still getting stronger. Now let's fast forward a little bit. The fight continues, a lot of back and forth, really cool action sequences. Goku is then forced to go Super Saiyan Blue. But, gotta mention the elephant in the room here. Goku had a little bit of the green aura.
He did? Well, no. Well, he did, but then it transitioned into Ultra Instinct.
For a second!
For a second.
For a second. And he went straight blue.
And then blue.
And look.
You're teasing us too fucking much.
Yo, look.
That shit.
If anyone from the official staff is listening to this, how did you not expect? They did that on purpose.
They really fucking
did. They were messing with us, bro. They knew that was gonna get us. Oh my god!
Because at that moment we were like, can he do it? Like, can he do it? Can he do it?
God, dude, it was. I can't wait to see it again.
Oh my
God. I think I'm gonna react the same exact way. Like, I'm just gonna pop off, son. Like, I won't even be able to sit down. I'll be like, oh my God, like it was just right there. Like, he literally, like, dude, his hair was white.
I know.
His hair was white for a full second.
A second.
And then he went straight blue. Like, it's almost like
it was probably within him. But he couldn't tap it. He couldn't tap it.
Yeah. Because again, like Ultra Instinct is its own demon, dude. It's its own thing, like far beyond everything else that we know.
I feel like that shit is within his Ozaru.
Ooh, leave that for another discussion topic.
I got a little more on top. Cause what if each Saiyan has its own individual Ozaru, like feature, like Ozaru?
Oh, like a distinctive characteristic.
Kind of. Like, Goku's has Ultra Instinct, for example, and Broly's has the legendary,
I don't know.
That's a little stretch.
That's a stretch, yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
I mean, you might be onto something, like with the exclusivity part, but we'll have to see as time plays on. But good transition, though, bringing the Ozaru part up, because at this point, Broly has been fighting against Vegeta, fighting against Goku, and he has elevated and excelled and grown exponentially.
And he started being the fuck out of Goku.
And then he started
in blue.
He was blue, and Broly was still technically base form. However, if you notice, his hair pattern was different, and to me,
spiked.
It was spikier. And to me, this was his first transformation, true transformation. It wasn't Super Saiyan, but it was different. It was, and how Paragus worded it, he said he must have unlocked the potential and ability of an Ozaru, like as if he had the tail. That's what he said. So it's like, just to put into perspective for you guys, just think, when they go into Ozaru, they are full ape. Yes, they are raging. They're just going crazy. Their power is through the roof.
He has the mouth move too.
Yes.
Like, that's part of the Ozaru.
Dude, like, bro, like the mouth blast.
Yes, the mouth blast.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Broly is the first character we've seen that has advanced.
And the stomach blast. That's part of the Ozaru.
Dude, the original Broly had that too.
Well, yeah.
That was
obviously,
that was a nod at the original one too.
Well, yeah.
But yo, like, when he did that, when they explained that, I was not expecting that. And I thought that was really cool, because it's like, bro, my man, look, we're not even at the part where Broly goes Super Saiyan yet. He was in base form. You want to just call it base for the entire time, because look, there was no blonde hair, there was no red hair, there was no green hair.
He really started whipping Goku around like a...
Look, he made Hulk look like a little girl. Like, Broly made Hulk look like a little girl, simply because of the fact that, like, everyone's thinking of the Avengers scene where it's like, we have a blah blah blah, we have a Hulk, and then he comes in and he takes what's Thor's brother? I forget his name right now. Loki. He takes Loki and he's like, boom, 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 and he's just whipping them back and forth on the ground, pounding them, right? No, that was nothing in comparison to what he did to Goku. It looked like Goku's gonna die.
It really did. It looked like he was breaking the shit out of him.
You could tell, because Goku
was actually hurting, man.
And his eyes got white. I was like, oh, he's dead. He killed him by accident.
He started white.
Broly was relentless. Like, he was literally a beast. And even his mannerisms, like, just analyzing this, talking to you about this right now, helps me realize, like, Broly was truly in his Ozaru state in human form. I thought that was amazing. Like, that he's the first of his kind to ever do that. Like, think about it. He was a Super Saiyan 4 without Super Saiyan 4. He had no tail, no fur beside my man Ba on his body, and that's it. And that's it. I thought it was sick. I thought it was so cool. But then what happens? So then Frieza decides to get in the way. Big mistake.
Oh my god.
Big mistake.
He decides to well, no, because Frieza thought whatchamacallit?
Well, he was trying to retreat him or something, right? Because
Whoa.
Goku and Vegeta, because Goku then took Vegeta and he instant transmit. Oh yeah,
No,
because
no, no,
Piccolo.
no. It wasn't. I don't think they didn't do it yet. They didn't do that part didn't come up yet because they did that when Broly was then Super Saiyan.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Nah, trust me, Super Saiyan happened.
No.
Oh wait, no, you're right. You're right.
No, because Frieza, whatchamacallit?
Yes.
Frieza was thinking about how
Yes.
Saiyans transform, and he was thinking about how Goku transformed.
Yeah. Okay. So he was having a conversation with Paragus. Right. Okay. You're right. So Broly was fighting Goku, and then Frieza was having a conversation with Paragus, and then literally he looked up at the fight and he thought to himself as he was talking to Paragus, because they were talking about like because this was when, I guess, right after when Paragus was explaining like the power that he must have tapped into when he unlocked his Ozaru-John, right? And then Frieza remembered back when he was fighting with Goku on planet Namek back in the Dizzle, and then he literally this was Krillin's cameo appearance. Not really, because they just replayed that little scene like really quick when he exploded Krillin, and then that's when he remembered that's what unlocked Goku Super Saiyan.
So he wanted to see if Broly.
And he wanted to see if it would happen to Broly. Huge mistake.
And it did.
And it did exactly that. He turned around, looked right at Paragus, killed him.
And then freaking Frieza was like, "Oh, Broly, look what happened."
He's like a blast. Oh, he's like a miscellaneous blast that was just going around, just accidentally killed your father. And he lost it. Dude completely snapped.
The colors on the
Oh yeah, when like the whole entire screen like changes, like it was going
From
like
green
and it was like purplish.
It was like green, purple, gray.
Oh dude, it was sick. It was
And then it happened, and then they really started getting fucked up, and then Goku and Vegeta then instant transmission to Piccolo, because Piccolo was talking to Goku. He was like,
telepathically.
Because Goku's dying.
Yeah, like dude.
But then they instant transitioned and put Frieza in the battle on accident. Well, not even accident. It was like, here you go, Frieza.
Yeah. Because the thing
hold them off.
Yeah, the thing with that is that like they put Frieza in front of him because Broly had no control. It didn't matter that it was Goku or Vegeta that he was specifically fighting. He wasn't fighting them because he wanted to. He was fighting out of pure rage because he had no control over himself. It wasn't like a Kakarot. Like he didn't have any beef with them like that. So as soon as they put Frieza in front of him, he just kept swinging.
Bro, he was killing Frieza. Frieza was nothing.
Now here's something I want to point out to you right here as we're talking about this next part, because at this part we see Goku and Vegeta having a discussion with Piccolo, and we're like, dude, like we're gonna freaking die. And Vegeta's like, I'd rather die, because what happens next? Goku brings out the fusion conversation, and yes, Goku mentions Bulma and Bulla. And he's like, but are you really going to want to die and you let them die? You know, this is the only way we could defeat this dude, because our strength together will like be like exponentially stronger. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I'd rather die. And then that's when Goku mentioned, his wife and kid.
Yeah.
So of course Vegeta was like, fine. And there was like a funny scene where like we see Vegeta in like this freaking dance position. John was not expected. It was super funny. And then of course
he was embarrassed.
Now check this out. Peep this. And this is going to be a conversation for another day and another video, okay? Do you realize Goku and Vegeta went through the same thing that Goten and Trunks went through? And Piccolo was a part of it.
Yeah, because if you remember in Janemba movie, I'm pretty sure they did it like perfectly the first time.
No, they didn't.
I don't really.
They had the fat one.
I feel like they didn't.
They did the fat one. In the movie, it made less sense. because it was like, oh, did they just skip time to try it again? Like,
Yeah, they knew it. They knew it in that movie. Like,
yeah, like it was done poorly in Fusion Reborn. This time, it made a lot of sense.
Because
Piccolo taught them,
Vegeta.
and they actually abided by the time rules. And here's what I want to tell you right here. Frieza was literally taking a beating from Broly for an hour long straight.
It was like, yeah, an hour.
And he was even in his golden form.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the fact that he was still able to withstand the beating says a lot about Frieza. I'll just put it out there.
You think?
I'm just putting that out there. You guys can
but
mess with
Broly
that.
could have kept beating the fuck out of him, but he went to Whis.
Well, no, see, no, because what happened was, you would imagine like all the backs and forths that they've been going through, Broly and Frieza. At some point, Whis was probably just standing there watching idly by, and then that's when Broly probably saw him. He's
that's
like,
why
"Oh,
he switched." Yeah, that's
yeah."
why he switched.
He fought, but see, when people saw that, we were like, "Oh my god!" Like Whis versus Broly. No,
it wasn't gonna happen because Whis was just gonna dodge everything.
It was exactly. Whis is strong, way stronger than that.
Way.
Let's not forget. Even though Whis get, oh, you almost hit me there. Like that was the most Broly would look. Broly is as strong as he is, and we're hyping him up because it's true.
What Whis has in the
But
package.
Whis is an angel. They've written the story. Angels are the strongest of their universe over the gods of destruction. There's not, dude. If Broly actually was able to put hands on Whis, no, that would cause an uproar in the fandom. I'm telling you right now.
It would.
So back to the John. So the reason why Frieza was fending off Broly for an hour was because the first time Goku and Vegeta did the fusion, their fingers weren't aligned, so they turned into Veku, right? They turned into the fat version. Then they tried it again after. But Piccolo was like, "All right, try again in 30 minutes." And they go back to a Frieza Broly scene where Broly is just, oh my god, destroying Frieza again, right? They go back to Goku Vegeta fusion, They try again. They turn into
a 45, 60.
They try, it was the angle, the 45, 40 degree angle, 60 degree angle. They weren't perfectly in line with each other, so they created like the skinnier version. Looked like he was like a Ethiopian or something like that, right? Had no food or whatever,
and then he transitioned to Whis at that point. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because then they made him wait another half hour, and then bam, after that one they finally got it right, and then they went right back, and it was cool because like as soon as he came out, he's like, so Piccolo's like, so what do we call you?
Yeah.
And he's like,
we need a name.
He's like, well, so the Patar ears make Vegeta, so I guess I'll be. And he's like, no time, you just gotta go. He's like, all right, and then he just went.
Oh, no, because he didn't just go because he was like, hold on, I need a cool name.
Yeah. That's right. So he's much like Gotenks. That's how you know apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Really.
I hope that in Super.
Yo, isn't it crazy? Go Tanks, go Cheetah. Like I just realized that. To be honest, yeah, that's kind of fun.
Right. So it makes you wonder if Goten and Trunks ever used the Patar earrings. Trunkton.
Yeah.
Had to be Trunkton or Trunko. I don't know. Whatever. Don't matter. So then finally he instant transmissions back to the scene to see Frieza getting mopped, and then then he starts handling Broly. Now this fight totally changes. Okay, because Broly is still as strong as he is, but at the same time, Gogeta was that much stronger. Actually stronger. He was because he was fighting him in base form. Then he powered up to Super Saiyan, and then
he was handling him a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he just said fuck it and went to Super Saiyan
Blue.
And then at that point it was just
over.
It was actually
Gogeta, and I can appreciate this.
He outpowered him so hard. It was actually insane.
Now here's the funny part. So remember the rule, or not? I don't even know if it's a rule. No. I know the 30-minute rule, but do you remember the fact that when
they power up,
it reduces their time?
I don't think it works. Well, I think that's only the theory with the Patar earrings, not.
I have an explanation for you.
What?
So, just think about it. They were fighting fast as hell.
They were.
So fast to the point. Remember the one scene where it looked like they broke dimensions?
Yes.
I think.
Oh, what you think that increased their time?
No. See, I don't think that increased their time, Brandon. I think that they were fighting that fast that it looked like they were in some kind of dimensional space.
They actually broke the dimensions, man.
It looked like they broke dimensions. Yes. But
It looked like a Janemba
yes,
thing.
but understand this. They had to have they probably did that so that way the viewers can actually follow what's going on. Because think of it that way. The reason why they were in this dimensional crap was so that way like it was slowed down, which then makes it seem like the fusion lasted a lot longer. But realistically, Gogeta was giving him the hands and feet and giving him all that.
Yo, I don't even think Gogeta really got touched when he was in blue by Broly.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He actually fucked him up.
And
badly.
he kept whipping out all these new moves.
He whipped the
shower, the shower,
no, not that, not
the Soul Punisher. And we thought that was gonna cleanse him.
I thought that was, but it wasn't.
Nope. And matter of fact, he actually took that just fine. Broly actually stood up after that. The fight wasn't over then. It was actually what would have ended it was the freaking final Kamehameha.
Oh my god! You did not have, bro.
Yo.
Bro.
He's like, come
that shit was actually about to kill Broly.
It really was. That was why they called it the final Kamehameha.
Yo, that shit was actually gonna kill Broly.
That was gonna kill him. So while this is all happening, Chilai got the Dragon Balls.
That shower move was actually
summoned Shenron, made Kikono call upon the dragon, and then she made the wish right as Broly was about to die.
Bro.
Right when he was about to freaking die by Gogeta's hand, she wished for him simply to return, to save Broly, number one, save Broly and return him to the planet that he grew up on. So instantly, he basically got instant transmission all the way back to Vampa in the middle of the fight.
Yep.
And at that point, the dust cleared. Gogeta goes, and smiles all cool, right? And
I bet he was like low-key happy that it happened.
Yeah.
Because I think that's why he did that.
Yeah, because it's a shame to have to end someone that had no control over their power.
That's Goku and Vegeta. They were like, nah.
It's probably more Goku at that point, to be honest, because then we find out at the end of the movie, like, because they had the interaction, which was amazing interaction. I loved it. Oh my god, dude, it was so good. All right, so before that, everyone, like Frieza leaves, but
he said he would be back.
Frieza said he'll be back. Now, real quick, you think Frieza about to go platinum finally?
Oh, you think they're gonna give him an upgrade? Oh, if he comes back, he has to come back a lot stronger. After he's seen what Broly just did to him, he really fucked him up.
Yes.
He actually got beat.
Yes.
Bad. He realized it himself.
He got ragdolled. He got played with, chewed up, spat out. Like, dude, Frieza was made to look like a fool.
Yep.
So the question here is
golden form is not good enough.
Is he gonna hold that?
It's not good enough.
Is he gonna hold that? I don't think so. I think he not. I think he's gonna train low key. Matter of fact, right now, Galactic Patrol Prison Arc, he's probably training right now throughout the entire arc. The arc after that, watch. Frieza's gonna come back. He's gonna whip out Platinum, son. Platinum Frieza. I've been calling this since he came back. I was like, yo. We got Frost. We got Frieza. Frost didn't even go golden form. He's whack. Frost is whack. Frieza, though, trained for a little. Frieza, right? Got the golden form. And then he's going to train even harder. Oh, my God. Yo, if platinum form looks like Cooler, I'm done. If platinum form looks like Cooler, it's over. It's over. Then Frieza's going to be a threat again. A real threat again.
He will be a threat if he actually manages.
Because look, something's got to give with Frieza.
But then, hold up. If he gets platinum, then Goku and Vegeta have to get another form.
Okay, I got you. Right, get this. All right, so that's a good transition because it's gonna transition right to this end portion right here. So everything's back to normal. Chilai and Lemo are basically living with Broly on planet Vampa.
Yeah.
Broly's pretty much trying to get them accustomed to eating the food that he be eating over there, which is like some weird slime stuff out of like these like big spider nails and stuff.
And they mentioned that they only had food to last them like 50 days.
Yeah, yep. But then,
And then
Goku shows up, instant transmissions, got sponsored
He
by
said-
Capsule Corp.
He said, "Hey guys."
hey guys, and then they thought that he was gonna
Fight him. Yeah.
right? But of course, like they don't trust him because he's a Saiyan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's all they know. And naturally, Goku's like, no, like I don't want to do that. Like he's like, I just came here to give you guys some supplies, and bam, whips out the capsules, hooks him up with a brand new house,
Yup.
freaking
In the cave.
in in the cave. So he has a house in the cave, right? That's literally a man cave, like straight up, right? So hooks him up with all that stuff, and then he talks to him. He's like, yeah, man. Like he's like, I don't want to hurt Broly. Like he's like, the most I ever want to do is actually just fight him. Like just to train, right? He's like, I would love to train against Broly. Maybe I could teach him a few things.
Yeah.
And Broly was not expecting that. He was like, whatever.
He
Like
smirked.
he was smirked. And at first, Chilai didn't trust him, but then I guess after a while, like she realized like Goku's pretty much a dumbass. So like let's be blunt. Like Goku's he's not all there, but he means well. He means well, right? And he was innocent, right? And it was a really cool interaction between him and Broly. Now this is probably one of my favorite things that they could have left us with. Is simply that he's like, by the way, he's like, my friends call me Goku. He turns around,
Kakarot.
but you could call me Kakarot, son.
That name is still alive.
Yeah, of course. Come on, Vegeta still calls him Kakarot.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that
That
whenever that next time is, the next time we see Broly on the screen, who knows? We'll have to hear Kakarot. Yo, I'm ready, son.
That was a pop-up.
Yo, as soon as I was not ready, I was like, yo.
No. As soon as he said, "You don't have to call me Goku," I was like, I knew.
Yo, it was such a uplifting, happy feeling because I was like, look, it was like, this is how I know they really wanted to do Broly right. Broly overall as a character, like they took everything that was right about him, that wasn't wrong about him. They left all the crap behind that didn't make sense. They gave him a bunch of sensical stuff and then added all these layers of character. Literally, my man is better than Bruce Banner and the Hulk, okay? He is the anime Hulk, okay? And now he's literally lined up to literally like
Be an
just
ally.
Be an ally, be like a call for help kind of thing, if that's what they're gonna do. And then just the simple fact that in the time frame or in the moment that they are, even if we ever see a scene of them training together, and he gets mad and he's trying to control himself, he's just like, oh, I can't wait to hear that, dude, because it's because you might have thought like, oh well, if this is Akira Toriyama's Broly, like why would he ever have any reason to call him Kakarot, because he'll know him as Goku.
Yeah.
Nope. And remember, and check this out, another fun fact. Goku only allows Vegeta to call him that.
Kakarot.
And he letting Broly call him that.
I mean, he's been calling him Kakarot ever since Vegeta got to planet Earth.
Well, yeah. But it's different, though, because, like, he's been calling him that, because that's how Vegeta knew him as. And Goku never acknowledged, like, my name's Goku, like, whatever. But as obviously, you know how Goku is, he befriends everybody. And as soon as he befriended, he got closer with Vegeta, or he felt like he was closer with Vegeta, he didn't let him bother. He's like, whatever, like, it's just Vegeta, right? But, that is such a huge sign of respect. Like, Goku really meant what he said in the movie. He had a line where he said, we Saiyans gotta stick together. Dude, they're sticking together, like real rap. And that's literally the last line of the movie. That's the last thing that happened. There's no after credits, unfortunately. But, dude. Oh, so what I wanted to bring up after, we talked about that was so you're saying, okay. So you asked me about, you asked me about, like how, if Frieza gets platinum, okay? Now, my answer to that simply this is, dude. This is almost cliche Dragon Ball. Okay, sure. Have Frieza off screen for a while. Then when he comes back, guess what? Oh, Platinum Frieza, or he gonna do whatever. I don't think bronze would make sense because bronze is less than gold. But anyway, he comes back, new form, thinking like, oh, he's hot shit, right? Nah, yeet. Because guess what? We could see. There could be moments in time where Goku could be going to train with Broly and teaching him. But see, here's the thing. Sometimes when you're a teacher, you learn off your students.
Yup.
And we can also we can even see this as proof because look at their fight. Goku had him in the hold move when he was a Super Saiyan God, and Broly did it right back on the spot. Who's to say Goku can't do the same thing? He sees that Broly, and also if we're gonna bring up that like Super Saiyan full power, Broly's Super Saiyan form is known as Super Saiyan full power. So this is the full power, the true form of a Super Saiyan. So I gotta give shout out to my boy Bader KQ, my dude on Twitter. All right, he's the one that brought this to my attention. Okay, I said find me the episode where Vegeta says that against in the Tournament of Power in Kale. Episode 100, Vegeta says when Kale goes like berserk, legendary Super Saiyan, whatever, he goes, that could possibly be the true form of a Super Saiyan. So if that's the true form of a Super Saiyan with the tint of green and Broly got that, John, what makes you think Goku can't? What makes you think Vegeta can? Broly is the new key to unlocking more stuff, my dude.
I was thinking the same because at this moment, is it safe to say that Broly is stronger than everybody?
Okay, yes. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Besides Gogeta.
Yes, right, exactly. That's the
everybody. Right now, he's the strongest.
Yes, he is the versus Jiren right now, son.
Yeah, that would be a good fucking fight. But like, shit.
Jiren I think is a more refined fighter. Like that's the thing. Goku got to teach him some stuff.
Yeah.
I would love to see Vegeta train with him too.
Oh yeah.
Vegeta's very strict. Like he's an actual what I'm saying. Like
I bet. Well, yeah, I bet Goku would probably tag him along.
Yeah.
Well, if Vegeta finds out that Goku's
he gonna get mad.
He's gonna be like, "Bring me
Kakarot, you idiot!" Because
Goku was training with Whis and Beerus
by himself,
and then Vegeta found out, and he was like, "Take me."
No, he did. He did it on his own too. There was a point in time where he went by himself first as well, and during this time period, that was when he learned Super Saiyan God.
That's true.
Yeah. So
did he go before Goku? I forget.
No, Super Saiyan God.
No. I'm talking about like, did he train with Whis and Beerus before Goku did?
No. Goku.
And then Goku was like, "Hey, what?"
Goku trained with them, and then Vegeta trained with them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So bam, that's the entire movie right there. Full review, top to bottom. My rating is literally over 9,000. I can't give it a 10 because it was too good.
Broken radar.
Look, exactly. When you try to give it a rating, it's basically the same as when you try to put the radar meter up to when Broly was a baby. The jaw breaks. From the animation standpoint, everything was clean, crispy, amazing, beautiful, a bunch of colors. Bunch of teases. We saw some stuff that was like, yo, what is this?
Those are teases, bro.
Exactly, son. Like, dude, I feel like we've only scratched the surface of learning more about the Saiyan's true power.
Bro, but like, I'm still stuck on the fact that like, that Goku he teased his Ultra Instinct.
Yeah.
Like I'm still, that shit they have to do.
To me, that just means that all that means to me is that he is living up to his Saiyan name. Like Saiyans grow stronger with every fight. That to me, that's just a sign that he's getting closer to being more accessible to it.
I feel like Broly can really push him to get that.
Yo, see. That would be amazing. Now here's another thing. All right, so this. I actually want to leave what I'm about to say for another video.
What if Goku teaches him God form?
He could.
Like that's what I'm fucking saying. Like that would just make him more fucking broken.
Dude, but yo, he's the Hulk of their team. If they ever need,
if they go into another tournament, automatic.
oh, they're winning. Now send Broly first. No one else will fight. No one else will have to fight. Oh, but I will say this. I hope that Goku teaches him like really like it's like important things. Like I hope he teaches him like instant transmission.
Yo, Vegeta doesn't even know that.
Nah.
Like why would he teach Broly?
Nah.
That's special.
But here's a fun thing to sit on, right? What if there's a point in time where Broly is involved, right? And he decides that he wants to fuse with Gogeta.
Get the fuck out of it. I don't even think you can have a 3-way fusion. That's
First time for everything.
That's never been brought up.
Bro,
that would be actually retarded insane. Like, yo.
Like, imagine one day they come across a villain that's too strong for them to handle, even if they fuse. And I can tell you this right now. In the manga, Vegeta has already said, I'm not ever teaming up with you again. Like, he probably felt hella embarrassed, which I guess it makes sense. Like, why he said that in the manga. I was like, wow, they're not going to fuse no more.
He always says that shit.
I know he always says that.
But when tough times come, they got to do it.
Exactly. They got to do it. They got to do it, right?
He says it just to say it.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, with that being said, imagine they have a villain later down the line. Whether it's mortal or if it's someone later, even stronger, whatever. They do Gogeta, it's still not enough. Who they going to call? Go freaking Broly. Broly come in, save the day. But then Broly gets to work. Then what happens? What are they going to do? They're going to have to try something. They're going to have to. I'm just saying, like, that is hella fan service, I know. But, like, that's hella fan. Like, that's like some Dragon Ball Heroes stuff right there, son. So, but yeah, guys, that's the entire movie. If you're listening to this after watching it, yeah, I look, by the time you're listening to this, we will have seen it 3 times. We've seen it in the New York City premiere once, and then twice in one day for the actual day of release, and one of them is an IMAX. I can't wait for that experience. I can't wait to hear all the explosions and the power-ups in IMAX quality.
Oh my goodness.
But again, guys, look forward to all of the specific, detailed topic discussions that will be coming on the channel very soon. After this, of course, there's a bunch of different things that we touched upon that we could literally talk a little bit more in depth about that will be saved for later videos. I actually have a couple guests lined up to be featured on Uchi Games to talk more about this kind of stuff, because trust me, there's plenty that this movie gave us to pretty much dissect, to speculate, to just look forward to the potential of the anime when it comes back. Because let me tell you something, I'm praying. They
didn't say it's coming back yet?
Not yet. They're probably going to wait until after the movie's out. But I'm praying to you and to everyone that when they bring it back, they literally do Broly. I want to see him in the anime, and I want to see him I want to see the 3-hour cut. I don't want to see, because right now what we've been watching has been 1 hour and 40 minutes, a shortened version of what Akira Toriyama intended for us to be entertained by. I want to see the whole John. I want to see all that. Bro. Because look, that alone could be split. That could be an easy 25 episodes. That could be a whole season, right there. Broly. I'm not complaining, more Broly. And then we get to see stuff that didn't happen, that got cut.
How long did the first series of Super go?
So, okay,
the episodes?
Battle of Gods part, and which they added more stuff, by the way, if you remember. The fight with Beerus and Goku was way longer, right? Bro, that John lasted, I want to say like episode 11, 12, 13, 14 maybe.
Oh, I'm talking, well, did they ever take breaks? Like, for the whole, like,
No.
what's out? Yeah, like,
No.
what's out right now?
No, the only break they took was when they ended Tournament of Power.
Was that?
131.
Holy shit! So what we're gonna expect that many episodes?
Well, we'll see. I don't know.
Because if you want the 3-hour John, that's like what
Well, think about it. Okay,
30 episodes.
they've been
plus?
working on it since like October. The super anime has been worked on, guys. It's been legitimately confirmed. It's been put out there,
They probably
online.
at least got like half the season, bro.
I don't know. I don't know how much they could get done between October and now, and whenever they do decide to release it. Because if they release it in April, it's a wrap. If they release it by Kamehakan, it's a wrap. Like, I'm just telling you right now, guys. If you didn't already know, I'm a freaking Broly panelist, aka I'll say that again, a Broly panelist. I'm giving a panel about Broly. All right, we're done here.
Yo, that it would be actually perfect if they released it by like April, May, because I'll be out of school.
Yo, back to the old live review reaction, Johns. I can't wait. Guys, let us know all your thoughts about the movie, your experience, how many times you're going to go see it in the comments below. All the good stuff. Like, share, subscribe. Y'all know the drill. All of the links to continue to support this channel and further beyond is all in the description. It's been your boys, Uch and Brother Uch. We'll see y'all next time.